Let's look ahead to next season then. Ipswich have had a season being a very small fish in the Atlantic Ocean. They're now going to be one of the bigger sharks, really, aren't they? They are already installed as the title favourites to win next year, 92 favourites to get promotion. From a financial perspective, then, parachute payments coming in, they'll have a big impact. What will the outlook, what will the lay of the land be like for Ipswich in the Championship next year compared to those other teams?
I think the bookies have probably got it right. We have seen parachute payments turn into trampoline payments in the course of the last 2 years. So Burnley and Leeds United were both in receipt of parachute payments. They were automatically promoted. Sheffield United could have been promoted. They again were in receipt of parachute payments, but they lost to Sunderland. Congratulations to Sunderland. It was a good match. Very, very tense. I'm glad I wasn't emotionally involved in it. I was just watching as an observer. So there, I think there is the opportunity. Portman Road, good stadium, solid fan base, gets decent capacity. I think you've got owners who have the resources and are willing to back the manager as far as this summer is concerned, because people are sort of saying to it, do we now have a sort of 2 or 3 Premier Leagues? We've got our big 6, 7, 8. We've then got sort of the middle classes, and then we've got, you might say, sort of 9 to 10 clubs fighting over 6 positions who are bouncing between the Championship and the Premier League. And I think Ipswich Town have all of the resources to join that group. They've been up, they've been down. They are rightly deemed to be a club which has got an opportunity to bounce back. And I think it will be an exciting season.
And another one, just to end this kind of look at some of the other Championship clubs, and this is one that will spark a lot of fear around Ipswich fans, because there's confidence of the fact we'll go down and we'll be one of the big fish, we'll challenge to go up, and more often than not, teams do that. I think in the last 5 seasons, at least one have. Quite often you've seen 2. They're all usually very competitive. But Luton are an interesting case, aren't they? Where they've come down and been relegated again. And you don't see that often. The last time it happened was Sunderland. I think that was about 8 or 9 years ago now. And there are fears about that. Are you able to provide anything from a financial perspective that would allay some of those fears for Ipswich, given the fact that they've risen very quickly as well, back-to-back promotions? It can be, from what it looks like with Luton, quite easy to fall as well.
If I was an Ipswich Town fan, I would not be worried at all. I think the 2 clubs have got nothing in common. If you take a look at Luton's finances, they spent £27 million signing players in the Premier League, and that was with the squad, as you rightly said, just had sort of back-to-back promotions. So congratulations on getting there. The owners effectively said, we are now budgeting to be relegated. If you take a look at the wages they were paying an average, and we're not going to get out the world's smallest violin here, but they were only paying 25 grand a week in wages. Now the average in the Premier League is between 60 and 70. So and you've got clubs where the average wage is 170, 180 grand. So therefore they didn't have a squad of Premier League players, and it was going to be that sort of all for one for all mentality in the dressing room. I mean, I went there. I went there on a Tuesday night in late January. I'm a Brighton fan, and Luton absolutely mulled us. It was 4-0, and that was flattering Brighton. And I thought, well, if they can maintain this level of camaraderie, then I think they've got a fair chance of staying up. But that was the last game they won all season. So they had a really tough, pretty brutal finish to the season. The money that they generated from being in the Premier League, that's effectively been banked and used to build the new stadium, because we didn't see investment in players in 24, 25. And we didn't see many sales, because the broad perception of Premier League clubs was, we looked at the Luton Town squad, like they did well to get to the Premier League, but they didn't really have Premier League quality players. So I think Luton are a completely different place to Ipswich, because Ipswich have had that investment in the squad. They do have a bigger ground. They've got greater match receipts. They've got greater commercial revenue and greater commercial appeal on the back of the sponsors and so on. So I don't anticipate a replication of what we've seen at Luton.